Hello, and we are back. So, with another as you can see, you know what it's about to be. We got another Dragon Ball Z video on the line for you. How does that look? Actually, I want to make sure it doesn't look too crazy. I think that should look fine. This is Hatch, in case y'all don't know, and these are Trunks Heroics prospects. So, let's talk about. So in the week I haven't talked about Dragon Ball. I've been in two tournaments, right? One was like 2 weeks ago Wednesday, and the other one was this past Sunday, right, at my locals. So the one on Wednesday, I placed last. Let me tell you what happened. So I played Kid Ku, and played Kid Ku for the first time, and I wasn't really sure how to interact with the deck. So, here's the thing, right? I know what my deck does, but I don't know how other decks work. And so I'm still in this growing pains process where I'm like, oh, what's this? What's this? What's dancing through the air? What's this? You know what I mean? So, it was a really, it was an experience since I was able to, here's the thing, I was able to clear out fields, alright? Like, this cell has been doing God's work for me, alright? I promise you that. He's been doing God's work for me. I must have used, out of the 4 matches I've played in, I've used him at least in half of them by turn 3. Because my opponent had such a big board, and I was just like, you know what, we're just going to throw Cell out there, and then absorb all the things that we can absorb. So we got that out the way. Which is why we didn't have this many heroic prospects. I actually had a few more fusions. I was at 4. And I was at 4 of these, and I believe 3 of these. But yeah, we were playing against Kid Ku, and I wasn't aggressive enough, I want to say. So he had a lot of life in order to do a lot of his shenanigans, which I've actually we'll get into that next part later. But I wasn't able to stop him from just damaging me like that. So yeah, I ended up losing that one. And then the next one was against Invoker, and we were at like turn 6 or 7, and I didn't realize that Invoker could just had cards that he hit me with the Goku, and then he did the catastrophic blow, so he didn't have to attack to damage me. All he had to do was damage me. And if I would have known that we would have lasted that the Invoker would have did that to me, I probably would have been way more aggressive with it. And because I definitely helped allow the game to get into that long standstill, it was really rough. Highlight though, this baby almost won me that game. Almost. Alright, I think I used him at the wrong time, but actually, the reason I keep Hirudegarn and Baby in here is because sometimes I want to throw out Hirudegarn to just, if I have a fusion that's still on the field, I throw him out there to just get rid of my android and help me ramp up, so next turn I can get out Baby. But that's if we get past turn 4 and 5. So that was a tournament on Wednesday, right? On Wednesday, I was a little bit more passive, and I was trying to play defensively, right? And what else was some lifesavers there? We had Son Goku Defense as our super combo. Oh, there we go. And then, because we had the Z Energy, we always had the Z Energy to do it, so we were able to just keep our hand growing. And then we had Zeno, which allowed us to just which not only gave us, 10,000 battle power, but also let us free up in energy. So what I would do is, I would charge this guy early turn, and then turn 3 I would super combo with Zeno and put this back into my hand, put something else down there, and then the next turn we would get out our big guy. I went to, and these Gokus and Vegetas have been amazing. Alright, I bumped them up because their ability to just search to send one out, and these two guys have the same amount of attack, so the ability to send one into the drop and then combo send another one to the drop and then fuse with these two. I've been trying to get myself to awaken by turn 2, and it's been working out pretty well. And there was one case where it didn't work out really well though, and that was on Sunday's tournament. I got the bye, and then my second match was against Namku Goku, right? And he was just going through his deck with his once per battle where he discards a card, draw a card, gains 500, and that was just really. And so I had to combo every time to make him combo out. That was an absolute pain. And actually, my first hand for that was terrible because I drew an Oob, I drew Heroic Prospect. I didn't draw any of like this stuff. All right, I had a Shields tournament, and I didn't even see like Defending Friends. I think I drew no, and I did draw this fusion. And the only reason I kept that hand was because I also drew my secret, and I was like, my secret's right here. Let me just grab it. And that was absolutely terrible. All right, because I didn't end up awakening until turn 3. That's how bad that that was. Such a rough turn. I was like, damn, I can't be doing this. Which on another note, also makes me realize how these two sort of has the same effect, because I really want them to just clear out cards that are on the field, and they both do the same thing. He clears out 3, puts them at the bottom of the deck. He clears out 3, but he also forces my opponent to add 1 hand. If they want to counter, they have to add 1 card from their hand to their Z energy. Like, I bumped this up to 2. I took out my 2 Broly's. I added 3 of these. All right, I initially took them out, but I added 3 of them because I was like, my plan was this, right? So turn 1, assuming we're going first, we draw, and either we get this lovely guy, one of these 2 guys out, or we get a Miloff, or we get a my Pilaf shoe, right? So if we drew this, we would charge something, we would pass turn. The opponent would go, they would attack us, and then we would pay 1 energy to throw out our shoe, draw a card, and then they would have to pay 2 cards if they wanted to combo against me, because I was immediately going to toss one of them things out there. And this is and then after that, when they would be in the process of attacking me, I would just combo with this, because I'm very used to everyone just killing this guy like during their next turn. So I would combo with it, put it in my Z energy. That's the first card of my Z energy there. Bam. Second turn, we would do either a Goku or Vegeta if we drew one of them. We will put them in hand, we will play them on the field, draw a card, attack with them, and then maybe fuse one of these 2 pieces out. Then combo one of these 2 pieces, send it to the drop. Then we would fuse for one of these lovely L guys, L-shaped over here, and we would, and the goal would be to put 2 more in our Z energy. So now we have a fusion, we have a guy who attacked, and we've got 3 Z energy. So now we can attack, use our auto to look for the top 5 cards, see what we can do. And then I found out I couldn't do this, right? Because awakening happens during the combo step. So, because what I would do is, I thought that when you attack and you use your auto, you could awaken during your autos. So you would activate your first auto, awaken, activate your second auto. So you will get 2 cards at once. I thought that could happen, because I've seen leaders do that, but I probably didn't understand that the leader was doing that because of a different effect, like maybe they were activating main phase 1, and then they would swing, and then, because I thought that they were doing that all in the same auto attacking phase, which apparently doesn't happen, but that's fine. And, we attack with leader. We would still draw 2 cards and drop down the 2 from our life. So we would have 8 cards in life. And then we would have we would go +4, because we get the 2 cards that we draw from Awaken. Well, actually +5. We go 2 cards that we awaken, our 1 card that we got from Searching, and then the 2 cards that we got from our life. And this is actually what I ended up doing against the Black Vegito. Like the second turn, I was just really aggressive. I made 4 swings, and he had to combo out of a few of them. And the aggression was just on him. All right, so he couldn't really. There wasn't a lot that. There were things that he could do. Once he got the 30k blocker out with barrier, that was an absolute. I couldn't get past that. Like there. I wasn't able to use Practicing Fusion because I dropped down to 3 of these guys, so I wasn't able to pull this guy out, and so I just never ended up being able to use that. Now, there was the Beerus, but that's 4 energy total to do all this extra stuff, and I just didn't have the energy for that. I'm a broke boy. And it's sad, but true. And yeah, so that was how my first 2 turns were supposed to go. Now, I was, but again, you know, found out we don't awaken during auto step. We awaken during the combo step. So that's good to know. And so yeah, like the first 2 turns are normally, the first 2 to 3 turns are normally really strong for me. Again, against that Namku deck, we got up to turn 5, and he got me with the Xeno because he basically destroyed my hand with that Successor Cell and another card. Yeah, I really wish I killed him earlier, but he was just able to get so many cards out on the field. It was really crazy to watch. And then yeah, so that's how my tournaments went too. I lost both those. I lost Vegito and I lost to the Namco deck. And again, there's a few Goku Namco decks. So like I didn't even bother, and this is all my fault. This is my ignorance. I should have bothered to read what the leader does. All right, like me not knowing what Goku I was playing off against puts a sour taste in my mouth because I'm like I should have did my due diligence. That's on me. And yeah, But for this is the deck I use for the second locals. I love this thing. I'm definitely going to increase the count of this because it's like a super combo pretty much. It's like a better super combo and it lets me restand the energy. So in my eyes, it's free. Yeah, it's 1 card, but whatever. You know what I mean? It's way better than this. I saw way more use out of being able to just combo out of things with Instant Kamehameha than I did with the Heroic Prospect. Because here's the thing with this deck, right? I've realized that if it's not turn 3, I'm not going to be able to get out my Whis Unison. All right. And I have thought about putting other Unisons in this deck, but I feel like it would just slow me down. If that makes sense. Because I really do enjoy the 20k double striker. I mean, dual attack. I'm sorry. That lets me stand up in energy and I have to discard Z energy, but it lets me redirect an attack and stand up a Z energy. It's only once per turn though, but I do like that effect. But I don't see him. He's not an option for me until turn 3, and that's if I want to, because that's going to completely blow out all of my energy. All right, so anything I want to do, I need to make sure I have a D magic in hand if I want to use that and enough cards in the drop. Because if that's the case, and I got a D magic in my hand, then we can stand up some energy and do some extra nonsense. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'd wanna so that Z Unison, so without having like a good Unison, not Z, yeah, that's a Z Unison. Without having a good Z Unison, I find Heroic Prospect to not really be that useful to me, and I end up just using these for energy or charging them, and I don't like that. Yeah, because especially like, it's a good effect. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice floodgate, but I don't have like some turn 1 or turn 2 Unison that I just throw out there. And I feel like throwing out a turn 1 or 2 Unison is like I could be fusing and awakening turn 2. You know, and in a good case, in a good scenario, I can awaken, if I go second, I can awaken turn 1. In a good scenario, you know what I mean? Where I have my pieces, my fusions. So, but trying to spend those resources on a Unison that early just isn't my cup of tea. Now, getting Whis out later in the game, that's a different thing. But we got to figure out, but it's getting to that point. Like, I've had games where I get up to like turn 3 or turn 4. But, again, unless I'm playing another blue deck, we're not getting like to turn 5 or 6. All right. Another issue, another thing I did, and this is my experience. This is my lack of experience. When I was playing that Green Namco deck, right, I was wasting a lot of strikes at hitting his Unison. And because I know that everyone has dormants, you know what I mean? So I would waste 2 attacks on dormants, and I don't feel like that was a plan. I should have just let him keep his unison and just kept swinging at lead. Because even if I got rid of the unison, you know what I mean? Yeah, he got the second one, but I felt like I was paying too much in order to swing past, in order to like get rid of his unison and prevent him from using dormant, if that makes sense. Because then I should have, because here's the thing, he has to discard a card. So all these attacks I'm wasting on the unison, you know, he could have been lowering his card hand advantage if I just attacked his leader and then he went dormant. You know what I mean? So I think that's definitely a thing over there. Yeah, I've got to do better than that. Way, way better. But you know what? I didn't want to get hit with a dormant, but then I'm like, and thinking in my head after the match, I'm like, why? I could have did some more damage to him. Because we were, again, our first 2 to 3 turns, we're really aggressive, especially turn 2. Like, there's this guy, one of these 2 out. I mean, hopefully I get the Vegeta out because he has critical. So, him laying into your guy, I didn't realize he had critical too until my opponent was like, you know, he has critical. And I was like, oh, shoot. I didn't even realize his keyword because I thought he had deflect, like Goku has deflect. It threw me off that this guy has critical, but Goku has deflect. You know what I mean? So, that's my fault. Again, that's my due diligence. I need to do better on my due diligence. And then, yeah, I think, and yeah, that's how my tournaments went through. These 4 cards, though, I do not like. I don't mind having 1 Oob out in the deck. I don't like having 2 of them. You know what I mean? Like, at least Broly, he's a Saiyan, so I can pick him up with my auto first turn. I can't do that with Oob. And I already have, you know, my 8-drop that does almost the same thing as Oob. You know what I mean? So, it's hard. I don't really want to. It's hard for me to justify Oob. Honestly, I don't like Heroic Prospect in this deck. Again, there's no... If they had a unison for this deck that was like, do X, Y, and Z to get you out, that would benefit you first to second turn, I could understand that. And here's the thing, like, there's probably a unison I could get out early enough, but I just, during my first, you know, if it's not first turn, I feel like my second turn is so vital. So throwing out a unison second turn just doesn't help. And then you hit turn 3. And then you hit turn 4, and then you hit turn, you know, as you get, this starts to lose its effectiveness as the game goes on, you know what I mean? Especially because, like, when you're playing against green, they have a lot of turn 3 or 4, so by the time I could even start playing this, it doesn't matter to most of their units, you know what I mean? Because this card only works, with opponents' costs that are greater than their energy cost, but when it's turn 3 and they have a bunch of turn 3 cards out, it's sort of hard to be like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? It's sort of hard to say, it's hard for me to want to put the resources into playing this card. Maybe dropping down to 1, because it is a negate attack. Yeah. But I still need a unison to reduce its cost from 3 to 1. So, what are you cats doing? So yeah, I don't like that. Hatch. Here's the thing, right? This deck is really aggressive, and I feel like Hatch contradicts the aggressiveness of this, because like when you're attacking, and then look, I've got 6 of these guys. All right, so when we attack, we spend an energy, and we can throw out a double striker. Or we can throw out another guy who's going to not only give plus 500 to the battling card, but who can also bounce cards back into my opponent's hand. You know what I mean? And yeah, my opponent can play it again, but they probably have better things they want to spend their energy on. So, I feel like we're a very aggressive deck, and Hatch sort of counteracts it. Like, I want to get Beast Gohan, alright? I have some boxes coming in. So, I bought a few of the Fighter's Ambition Pack that Beast Gohan came in. So, hopefully I pull it, and if I don't pull it, I'm just going to end up buying it online and eating that cost. Because I feel like it would be a much better super to put in this deck than it would be to keep playing around with this Hatch. Because in a game where you want to stall, I can understand playing hatch, but we just want to attack. Like I feel like our kill turn is like we want to be like turn 3 or 4. We sort of want you dead, because as we get later onto the games, later into the game, it's like if we get to turn 5, we want this in hand to sort of just stop you and put you down, and it also helps that this is a Saiyan, so this is also we can also grab this. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. Again, sometimes you see defending friends, sometimes you don't. But I would much rather have like a bunch of restand energy that's just getting restood. That's restanding like at Xeno. So yeah, there's a lot of I think I'm still gonna stay at the 2 Xenos. I don't want to go 4, and the reason I don't want to go 4 is because I prefer being able to draw cards. These 2 will help me draw cards. Well, they'll help me filter out my hand. Get rid of a useless card for more of these. I definitely I need to pick up 2 more of these guys. Because I have enough of these, of the common ones. But I actually don't have like a full set of 4 for these. I thought I did. Because then I would bump these up to 4. I like the fact that he has barrier. At least this one I would bump up to 3 and I would keep one on the side. This one I would keep up to 4 because it just lets me... I can use my activate main to just filter out cards again and draw 2. So it lets me get rid of a Goku or Vegeta, and it lets me just draw 2 new cards. So yeah, I think that's a change I'm going to be working on this week for this deck. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about for this one. Yeah, do I not have anything else to talk about? Oh, I'm upping this up to 4 too. I'm sorry. I can't do 3 no more. Alright, we need 4. 4 all the time. All day, every day. Yeah, I think that's all I have to talk about left. Really. Also, I am making some other decks, and I want to start using those in locals as well. Oh, I hate I hate outer sleeves. If anyone asks, yeah, I hate these things. Oh my god, your deck is just so big. It's so much shuffling and all this extra stuff. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't really have much to say. Yeah. So let me know what you all think about the video. If I'm crazy. Oh, you know what? There's one thing I want to talk about before I forget. Side decking, right? So here's my feeling on side decking right now, right? I'm gonna give you an example of this. So last night I was playing Marvel. Well, when you watch this video, it'll be like 2 nights ago. But last night I was playing Marvel Rivals with my friends, right? And we were talking about game etiquette, right? And like right now, the meta is you need 2 DPS, 2 healers, and 1 tank, right? Or it's like 3 DPS, 2 healers, 1 tank, something around there, right? Because there's 6 of you, 5 or 6 of you. So we're playing last night, and so I'm talking about it, and I'm like, and I ended up picking last, and they're like, well, if you're last, you got to go pick the tank, right? But I'm talking to him, and I'm like, well, if I don't know what my guy does, what does it matter if I'm a tank or not? Because I'm going to be failing the team if I pick a tank. Like, yeah, I'm a body that's there and can do right click, but I don't know what I'm doing with this guy. I don't know what I'm doing. It's my first match. Like, I would understand in my 3rd or 4th match, trying to strategically pick for my team. But if I just pick a tank and then I just go out and die consistently, what's the point? You know what I mean? Maybe if I would have played DPS, I would have stayed back a little bit more. Or healer. But because I'm a tank, I'm running out here not understanding tank rules. You know what I mean? Or playing as a tank and trying to do a role as like a DPS. Like, I hope that makes sense. And that's how I feel about side decking right now, right? I don't know like a bunch of cards, right? So I have to ask for opinions and stuff like that. Like, I just learned that there's this black combo card. It's like a Heavenly Hall or something that you can use to get rid of a card that has barrier. I didn't know that card existed, all right? You know what I mean? So it's sort of like I understand the purpose of side decking, but if I don't know what your deck does, I don't understand. Like, I'm just side decking in the hopes that maybe I'm swinging right. You know what I mean? Because if you side deck wrong, if I side deck wrong, I'm just overly complicating my deck. All right, I'm doing an extra thing when really I could have just probably been getting away with what I've been doing. But like, there are cards that make your life easier. So it's a weird dynamo, right? Like, it's a weird growing pain for me right now, where I'm just like, I'm not sure what cards I would put in a side deck for which decks, because again, like that Namco deck, that Goku Green deck that I was playing against, I don't know. He doesn't have really anything really annoying. Like, yeah, he's got that Unison, but every green is going to have a Unison. That I know. So maybe there's a blue card that I can play that gets rid of Unisons. You know what I mean? Or maybe there's a black card that I can play that doesn't require an energy that can get rid of Unisons for me. I don't really know that yet. I haven't ran into that card yet. So I'm going to need some more opinions. And I'm going to be asking around. Because I think this week I'm going to go for making my side deck. This is the week I go for making my side deck and seeing where I want to land. Because at least if I have a side deck, I have a good idea of what I want to do against Black Vegito. But if there's something easier that doesn't cost, because here's the thing, right? In order to get rid of their barrier, their 30k barrier guy, right, as Black Vegito, I need to have Practicing Fusion out on the field. And then I need to have my 8-drop. And then I need to have another energy. So if I get this out turn 2, and then I do Practicing Fusion, and then I get my 8-drop out turn 3, and then I pay another energy, yeah, I could get rid of that one barrier guy, right? Sounds perfect. The problem is that I've only got one Practicing Fusion, so that's my only real way of getting rid of that barrier guy. Now, there is Beerus Area Annihilator, but he's going to tell us, he costs 4. 4 energy and 2 Z energy. So 2 energy and 2 Z energy to play him. And then another 2, I hate the fact how blue this is, but another 2 energy to use his Activate main. Now, I have not tried this Vegito yet, and I want to, because I would like to have my opponent discard a card and throwing out a barrier guy. The only thing is he's like 5 energy, and that's really painful. It's like if I get to turn 5, alright. But yeah, other than that, there's not really that's the only real option I have against barrier, except to just overpower it and kill it if it's in defense mode. Right now, it's just those 2 cards. So, yeah. That's it. Now, there is the peel off shoe, but it's only during your opponent's turn. So they're not even... Here's the thing. I like them at 3, and I think they're going to stay at 3 for this deck. And yeah, I'm just looking for some easier cards to get rid of barrier for any color, really. Like, you know what? Do me a favor, right? If you watch this video, and in the comments, you can post like a little list of your side deck. Let me see what you guys are running. You know what I mean? And, yeah, just let me see your side deck. Let me see what you guys are running too. Because, I don't know every card, alright? I'm coming in at set 27. I know like a few sets. I know like maybe 4 to 6 sets, but I'm like, man, what's this card? and part of it is, again, this is all growing pains. And I just have to suck it up and deal with it for right now. But when I get done dealing with it, I promise you, I'm going to be winning tournaments all the time. But until then, yeah, I'm just going to be getting trash a lot. a lot. So, yep, that's going to be the end of this video. Talked about everything I want to talk about. Decks, side deck. And I think we are all good. So, look forward to my video. I don't think I'm going to do another tournament video next week. I think it's going to be more of like how this past month and some change of Dragon Ball have... it really treated me, and I think that's what we're going to talk about. So we're going to do another reflection video in next week or so, and I'm going to go over my buying experiences, how I can't read, and yeah, my deck choices. And so yeah, that's gonna be it, yo. I hope you're all entertained and all that good stuff. And I will catch you all on the next one. Later.